All right, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe. So last weekend I got to go racing and I did pretty well. A buddy of mine surprisingly showed up with his 67 Barracuda fastback, and his name is Mike. So quick rundown on Mike. Mike actually bought my 408 that came out of my purple Barracuda that I had at the first year No Name Nationals. So that's how I got to know Mike. So he's got that. He finally got it put into a car, and we were trying to work on it some. This video is going to be a little bit all over, so I hope you can kind of keep up. But the main goal is I'm going to try to give you 3 things to do to your front suspension on your Mopar, whether it's A body, B body, C body, E body, doesn't matter. If you're going to try to drag race it, this will help you. And there's a limitation to everything. That's why I didn't just throw up the videos of Mike racing and stuff. We didn't get full, clean A to B tests, but I'm showing you what I know works. And also, I got my buddy Darren's car here. I've been doing a lot of paint and body work to it. Everything I'm telling you is on this car. It's already got it. It's ready to go. So let me show you the 3 things from Mike's video, and then we'll look at this car as well. Here's Mike.
Just Mopar Mike.
Just Mopar Mike. And this is his 1967 Plymouth Barracuda. And you'll notice he's got the 408 that I used to have in my purple Cuda. And we're at Newport today, and we're gonna help him with some traction problems. He said he's got 456s in the rear, and he's still working on the combination, but it's a really nice car. He just wants me to finish painting it. But we just improved the front end. Let me show you. So here's our 3 steps to turn this into a race car for today. We took the top rubber off these. These are stock style KYB gas adjust shocks. They're not 9010s. They're just street stock shocks. So we took those off. So now when it bounces, it can transfer weight. We like that. There we go. Step number 2, you see the sway bar hiding in there. I disconnected the sway bar on the ends so it would stop limiting. And then lastly, let me lay back down one more time. There's a rubber that goes right here. If you got that rubber in, it will limit your travel and not let the car transfer as much. You can see the beautiful powder coating job done under here. It looks really nice. So he's gonna go back out and try it again. Let me show you his last ticket. So here is Darren's Barracuda. And he last was racing this. I think it's got a little 6-point cage in it. I got to take that out at some point. But on the front end stuff, just like I just mentioned, there is no sway bar. The majority of race cars I've ever seen did not run a sway bar, or old Mopars. That's the thing that I do. Other people can run them on whatever they want, but I'm gonna recommend you take that off if you are just drag racing, or at least disconnect it like we did on Mike's car. The other thing, there's that rubber I was talking about. So Darren has the rubbers. They're smashed down, just like on my car. Mine are probably smashed worse than that. And one day I got the bright idea of, I'm gonna buy some brand new ones. Look how smashed that is. Well, right now, the suspension is limited by this. So on other race cars, we've actually taken this out and put a carriage bolt in there, and then you can adjust your length. But even just taking this off and cutting it with a hacksaw to it's about a 1/4 inch thick, that would be what I would call ideal. The other thing Darren's got here are 9010 front drag shocks. So there's no need to kind of overcomplicate Mopar suspension stuff. I think I even have those same Calvert 9010s. 9010s will help the front end come up. That bump stop is going to limit your travel, so cutting it short will help you get further travel out of the front end, which allows the rear end to hook up better. Lastly, sway bar gone. Besides you losing 20 pounds or 25 off the front end, it also allows for easier movement and better travel in the front end. Let's go to the rear end. Okay, so in Mike's video, I wanted you to kind of watch the suspension closely. Someone's added some kind of rear ladder bar deals. I don't know if they're lower trailing arms or what you'd call them. It's not traditional Mopar stuff. It's not even traditional ladder bar stuff to me. I don't truly understand. I could probably research it some more. But I know somebody out there will know about them and can let me know in the comments. There's the front. I have this bar, and then it goes to there. So it's kind of like a big, I guess like a trailing arm or something like on those old trucks. And springs are still hooked up like normal. I want to study it some more. Okay. It's foreign to me. Here's how simple the suspension in your Mopar can be. This car behind me, which is almost down to bare metal everywhere. You'll have to see the other video for that. The car behind me has gone, I think, high tens in the quarter mile. It was somewhere around 680 or 690 in the 8th with a 410 gear. Let's look at what it has going on. There's a good old 8 3/4. Looks like competition engineering rear shocks. So they're probably 50-50 ratio or whatever they recommend. Super stock springs, spring relocators. So this is kind of that little crooked shackle that gets you an extra inch or so inward to get you the bigger tire. That's why the slicks that came off this car went on to Jamie's car at Dead Dodge Garage, and they rubbed his springs. And for a second, we scratched our head, and I said, I bet you Darren has that easy spring relocation kit. So 8 3/4 rear end, the drag shocks, you can see his drive shaft loop. That's just a safety thing. Subframe connectors. Let me get to them. There you go. They're a little ugly, but they're there. So stiffen the chassis up. That's nice. So here's our driver's side. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves. And they're complete length. Okay, they're even clamped in the back. Clamp, clamp, clamp. All that's clamped. It all looks beautiful. Got us a clamp in the front. It's all good. Different spring box, it looks like. So that is the 2003 on this side. And a 2002, find you. There you go, on the passenger side. So easy enough. In the rear, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 total springs on the rear. Then they add this little half spring right there. And that's what makes this work and wonderful. So, also want to add, Darren was not running a pinion snubber. There's been one in here before, but no snubber. 489 case, 410 gear. Easy. This is as simple as the Mopar rear suspension can be up to a certain point. And I think there's guys been in the 9s with this exact same setup, and they are keeping it very simple. So I wanted to caveat all that before I showed you our track footage from Sunday with Mike's car. Mike is still working the kinks out in that car. He just got it 2 or 3 years ago, and it's been to the track now twice. And that's the suspension stuff they had under it. So I'm anxious to see how it turns out, especially with our little 408 in it, and kind of the improvements it can make. I'm gonna try to catch up to him another day at the track and get some more footage on the car, but that would be my recommendations on an easy Mopar drag race setup for your suspension if you need one. Thank you all for watching. Shake it. I'm not sure we learned anything.
No, we didn't.
Did you? You didn't?
I didn't.
He got some good seat time in, and we had a little bit of hillbilly front end suspension tuning. So
Yeah, we just jacked it all the way up. See what it can do.
that's right. Thank y'all for watching. Oh
His
wait.
brother said you're gonna disconnect those back bars and see what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There. Somebody out there knows about it.
Oh, I'm sure somebody will say something.
I'm gonna go try to win first, though.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. more people